Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Mike Friends Has a Podcast, part of the Bet Rivers Network. On this Wednesday, the day before the Masters, and for golf fans and for sports fans who don't have much interest in golf but hook into the Masters, it's a special week. And for golf fans, this is the biggest week of the year because it's also a harbinger of things to come, although you wouldn't know it in New York today because the weather's so cold. But springtime is coming. We don't get really good weather before May 1st in New York anymore anyway. Not consistent good weather. We get a day here and there, but we don't get consistently good weather anymore until May. As a matter of fact, I know this from my wife. You don't plant the flowers until Mother's Day because you get frosted and they die. So you wait before you plant all your flowers around outside until Mother's Day. So it just shows you how long you can still get cold weather. But it's Masters Week. The course looks like it always looks, pristine. Having been there a couple of times, they do an incredible job on that place. I mean, it's as much like a TV studio as it is like a golf course. It's gorgeous. Um, and it plays very well to the cameras. Plus, it sounds like they are going to get a great week of weather. The Masters is a brutal place when it rains. I was there one year, the year Mike Weir won it, uh, and they got rained out on Thursday. Um, I if you walked on Friday, you were up to your knees in mud. I mean, that's how bad it was, and I did that. I walked with Freddie Couples in the morning, and, it was just it was unbelievable how deep it was in some places and soft. Um uh, but it looks like it's gonna be a firm weekend. It looks like the weather's gonna be good all weekend. There's supposedly no chance of rain, which is great, and, that makes for a terrific Masters. Now, it's a different year because I don't believe Tiger was gonna play anyway, even before what happened, but Phil had to pull out also for family reasons, and this is the first Masters since, I believe, '94 that neither was in the tournament. Um Changing of the guard, uh, yes, uh, and even a little bit of a difference this year in that Rory won his Masters, so maybe everyone doesn't go in thinking about Rory, and number 2, Scheffler has not been great of late. Hey, he was due a little slump, he's in a mini slump, plus he's been dealing with, and this is a joyous thing, but he's been dealing with the birth of his 2nd child, something like 13, 14 days ago. So you know what kind of family, if you follow Scheffler, you know what kind of family man he is. So that's a very big deal for him. Also, so that's occupied a good bit of his time. So is he ready to win at Augusta? Sure, he's the favorite. He's the favorite because he's the best player in the world. He's still ranked number 1 in the world. He's won, Rory's 2. Um, he's still Scotty Scheffler. He has to be treated with that kind of respect. He's won twice at Augusta. He can be a dominant force. He is a 5.5 to 1. Now, if he came in playing regular Scotty Scheffler golf, he'd be 5 to 2 or 3 to 1. He's 5.5 to 1, which is generous for him. So if you're looking, and what I would say about him is this: we know he's prone to these enormous comebacks, but I think here he's going to give you the indication tomorrow. He's teeing off at 1:44 tomorrow afternoon. So he's got a late Thursday, which means he's got an early Friday. If he gets off to a good start, watch out. But if he continues to struggle, I got a feeling he's gonna struggle all weekend. So normally you wouldn't say anything until Saturday as long as he's, not blowing himself up out of the tournament, which he's not gonna do. Um, but I think he needs a good round early to kind of set him up so that he doesn't have so much to make up on the weekend. And also, I just think he needs that for his confidence right now because his game's been off. They say he's been fiddling with his grip, he's been fiddling with his equipment. So, still, you have to have a world of respect, as I do, for Scheffler, and I expect him to play well. Let me give you what these are the Bet Rivers odds. Scotty's 5.5 to 1. DeChambeau is 10 to 1. The problem with DeChambeau is he has a lot of trouble with his irons. Now, his driving is impeccable, and you know how long it is. His short game is really good. He's a good putter. He's a tremendous player around the greens. He's a tremendous trap player. But he has a habit of really misjudging his irons by long distances, and it gets him in a lot of trouble. And you have to be able to land the ball in the right spot at Augusta, otherwise it can be penal. I think DeChambeau will play well. I don't see him as a winner. Rahm is 10 to 1. You got to take Rahm seriously. Rory's 12 to 1. I don't see back to back. Oberg is 14 to 1. His game is made for Augusta. Only thing is, he's got this habit right now. And when things go well for 3 days or 2.5 days, something happens where he just has that one hole that just gets him in all kinds of trouble. I don't think he's ready to win yet mentally. I just don't think he is. Schauffele's very dangerous at 14 to 1, and anybody who takes him, I have no problem with. I mean, he is extremely dangerous. I expect him to be prominently displayed on the leaderboard. A lot of people are going to like Cameron Young because of his distance, because of what he's done this year. He's 18 to 1. I took him, it was either last year or the year before, like 70 to 1. He played terribly. So I'm not taking him this year. Fitzpatrick's 20 to 1. He's played really well. He's as good a putter as there is in the world. He's dangerous. A lot of people like Fleetwood. First of all, everyone loves Fleetwood. I mean, I don't know anybody in golf who doesn't like Fleetwood and root for Fleetwood. He's going to be there. I expect him to be on the leaderboard. If you were going to give me a guy to pick at a decent price, or at least a reasonable price for a top 5, I would give you Fleetwood. I think he'll be right there. I just don't think he's going to win. Matsuyama, a lot of people like, not me. McIntyre, 28 to 1. This is one of my guys this week. Played well last week. Doesn't really bother me. We've watched him play well before in majors. He's got a game that I think is set up. Plus, Augusta is made for lefties. So, to me, I think he's got a good chance. Really good chance. He's 28 to 1. I think he's got a good chance. I really do. Rose is 28 to 1. A lot of people like him. I can't get on anybody who likes Rose. Rose always plays well, and he seems to get better with age. So Lee is 30 to 1. Morikawa is 30 to 1. Reed's 33 to 1. A lot of people like Reed. He's been playing very well on the LIV Tour. He loves Augusta. He's got a terrific short game. He's a gamer. He loves it. As I say, loves Augusta. I'm not picking him, but I know a lot of people who really are very high on Reed this week. Koepka's 35 to 1. I want to say that I'm ready for Koepka to bounce back and play like he used to in majors. I don't see it yet. And I'm a big Koepka guy. I don't see it. I have great respect for Victor Hovland. I don't think his game's ready to win. Cantley, Gutter up 45 to 1. He should be on any. If you play any of those pools that have rookie columns, he should be in there. I think he's ranked 9th in the world right now. Cantley's 50 to 1, Henley 50 to 1, Lowry 50 to 1, Knapp 50 to 1. All guys who any one of them on the board wouldn't shock anybody. I was trying to find Dustin Johnson. I'm thinking, how can Dustin Johnson at 41, always dangerous at Augusta, has the length, has won here? Why can't Dustin Johnson at 200 to 1 come up with a huge week? Well, he's 200 to 1 for a reason. That's why, because he obviously I can't even find him on the world rankings. He must be way, way down. I mean, I don't follow the Live Tour. I don't care about the Live Tour, but he must be way. I mean, I can't find him. Wait, I'm still looking for him when I was coming on the air. Let me keep looking, see what number he is on the world tour because I can't find him anywhere. He is. I think obviously not playing anything that you would call distinguished golf lately, which is why he is 200. Koepka's 169, so you can imagine. Let me see if I can keep going until I get to Johnson. He's not in top 200. Wow. Now you know why he's 200 to 1. Um, I guess that's a crazy thought. It just attracted the number attracted me. I just thought of him. Um, Couple of things here. If you haven't paid much attention, the world rankings are, as you would expect, names you know very well. Scheffler's number 1, Rory's number 2, Cameron Young is number 3, Fleetwood's 4, Spawn is 5, Fitzpatrick, Morikawa, McIntyre, Rose, Schauffele, Gutterup, Henley, Straka, Matsuyama, Thomas are the top 15. As far as tomorrow, DeChambeau goes out at 10 o'clock. Rory goes out at 10:31 with Cameron Young. Rahm goes out at 108. Scotty goes out at 144. So that's where we are right now. Uh, I think it's a wide open year, but I always think Scotty's going to play well. I have so much respect for him. I never want to eliminate him because I feel foolish if I do. Because if you eliminate him, all of a sudden there he is. Uh, and he's such a great player. He's so good with the lead. He's also can come from behind. He doesn't make mistakes. His course management, he's probably the best manager of the golf course on the tour. Does a superb job in that regard. So I could see him having a good week, although I have to he's not been Scotty Scheffler like of late. He hasn't been. Oberg's a guy that everyone's just waiting for him to win, okay? He could have won. He could have won in the past. I mean, he's thrown away golden opportunities. He's been right there. He's a player that no one questions is going to be one of the great players in the world in the next decade. I don't think there's any question about it. He already is almost right there. I mean, week in, week out, he's a wonderful, wonderful talent, and you expect big things. You just do. You expect him to play really, really well, and I wouldn't be surprised with anything he does. As a matter of fact, there are so many good golfers out there now. There are so many guys that are in the same, like, you take Scotty and Rory, all right, and put them 1-2, which is fair. You go from 3 to 25, they're all basically the same. I mean, they're all, there's so many guys there, Schauffele and Oberg and Fitzpatrick and Cameron Young and Fleetwood and Morikawa and Rose and go down the line. There's so many guys there, and they're all great, great players. They really are. So, what am I going to use? I'm not going to use Scotty at 5 and I might. I shouldn't say I'm not going to put anything. I might wait to see if he's in contention, but he's not on the lead. I might get a better price on him on Saturday if he's 3 or 4 strokes off the lead than I get Or if somebody has run out to a 4 or 5 stroke lead, I might get a better price on Scheffler during the tournament than I get at the start of the tournament. I've done that a couple of times and done well with him that way, and that's a way you can play him because you're not getting a great spot, he's the only guy you're not getting 10 to 1 on in the tournament, going in. Anybody else, even if you like Rahm, you're getting 10 to 1. Even if you like Rory, you're getting 12 to 1, okay? If you like Schauffele, you're getting 14 to 1. I mean, those are good prices. They're very good prices. Golf prices are always good, but it's hard to win tournaments. It really is. Who are the hot guys right now? A lot of Fleetwood, a lot of Cameron Young, a lot of, believe it or not, a lot of Reed, and I've been hearing Matsuyama's name a lot. When I talk to guys, "Oh, I like Matsuyama." I've had a couple guys tell me that. I've had a couple guys tell me, 3 or 4 guys tell me they like Reed as a long shot at 33 to 1. So, wide open, as we said. Um, I've been looking for McIntyre. I like the price, 28 to 1. I think he's gonna play very well. Uh, he's got the right temperament. If it's his game, I would definitely use him. Um, I was gonna use Oberg, but I'm not at 14 to 1. So I'm gonna use Scheffler probably somewhere in the mix, maybe during the tournament. I'm gonna My key guy is McIntyre. I'm also using a couple of guys to finish in the top 5 at pretty good prices. Um, I think they're 12 to 1. Uh, I'm using Knapp at 50 to 1 to finish in the top 5. I'm using Connors at 70 to 1 to finish in the top 5. I think he's 14 to 1 for the top 5. Uh, Knapp, Connors at 70 to 1. I was gonna say I can't resist a couple of bucks on Johnson at 200 to 1, but there's a reason he's 200 to 1. I mean, they don't give away 200 to 1s, okay? He hasn't been playing well, obviously. I can't even find him. So, I mean, the bottom line is I don't know what's been going on in this game. I haven't followed what's going on in the Live standings. I don't even know how Live does their standings, to be honest, because you got the team stuff and everything else. I don't even know how they print their performances. I know Reed's been playing very well there. Rahm is always Rahm. I don't Obviously he's 200 to 1. There's a reason. Everyone comes here every year and likes Spieth. I don't. I don't think Spieth can drive it with enough consistency. I think there's always a time in the round where Spieth off the tee gets into trouble. And he misses both ways. He doesn't just get off and get to where he's hitting everything right. He hits it both ways. He sprays it. He can be really bad off the tee. And that's a problem, and one that's hard to overcome at Augusta because you can put yourself in some bad spots. So, to me, I don't see it. I don't see it. I know he likes the course. He's 33 to 1. I think a guy like Victor Hovland at 45 to 1 is a much better play than Spieth. If Victor's game was a little sharper, I'd be looking at him. I usually do when he's a long shot. I usually look at Lowry, but I haven't. I got Lowry in my head because I watched him throw away that tournament in Florida where it looked like he couldn't lose. He's one of the only really good players in the field, and all he did in the last 3 holes was hit the ball in the water, hit the ball in the water, hit the ball in the water. I mean, so he's a little out there now. Anybody who takes Serge Straka to finish in the top 5, there's no argument there. He can be really dangerous. There's no question. He's 60 to 1. Can be a very, very dangerous player. So There's a lot of guys at a lot of prices, and as a matter of fact, other than Scotty, everybody's a price. That's the good thing about golf. Everybody's a price. And there's a lot of different ways to play it, have some fun with it, and I tell you, there's nothing like it because there are very few sporting events that seem to always deliver, that always deliver on the weekend, and the Masters is one of them where they just how many times have you been there on a Masters Sunday and just been riveted to what's going on as we come down the stretch? And, you hear all the cliches, and you'll hear them from Jim, moving day on Saturday. The Masters doesn't begin until the back nine on Sunday. You know what happens when we hit amen corner and all the different things, and it's all true because that's what's great about there's a couple of things that make this tournament so unique. One is that everybody knows the course because we all know it because we it's the same course every year. In golf, the Players is that, but it's not the Masters. And other than 17 at the Players, is there anything that memorable you go crazy about? There are certain courses where there's some unique stuff, like even the Bear Trap at the course down in Palm Beach. I mean, those holes are crazy because of the water, crazy, and they're fun, but that's just not a tournament of any magnitude. But the Masters, you know what's gonna happen when they get to 12. You know what's waiting, the opportunities, the risk rewards at 13 and 15. You know the shot you have to hit at 16 under intense pressure on Sunday, and then 2 tough finishing holes on 17 and 18. Incredible drama, there's nothing like it, and it seems to deliver because you know why? Because it means so much. The golfers grow up, and you've heard them. I was watching the Golf Channel this morning, and it was a tape of a show that was on last night, and they were interviewing a bunch of the players, and Fleetwood was talking, and he was saying, "Hey, I'm like every other kid. In my head, how many times have I gone out on a golf course in Europe, gone out on a golf course in my hometown, and dreamt that I was coming down the stretch at Augusta. I was walking down 18th fairway with a lead at Augusta." And he says, "There isn't a golfer anywhere who hasn't dreamt that dream of coming down the fairway at 18 at Augusta with the lead." And there are certain things in life, I always say, that will follow you, for the rest of your life. You win the Heisman Trophy, so it's blank, blank, Heisman Trophy winner, blank, and then the rest of the sentence. Same thing. I don't care if you never win another major. For the rest of your life, it's blank, blank, Masters champion. It follows you forever. It's something nobody can take away from you. You get to don the green jacket every year. You get to go to that special dinner last night, okay, that ushers in last year's winner. Last night it was Rory, okay? That very special moment. You get to go back and play, although this year there are unfortunately, a lot of guys, and, I'm always there to see the first tee, and I'm still amazed at the way even Jack, or the ageless Gary Player will swing the club tomorrow morning now with Tom Watson. Past champions not playing, Tommy Aaron, Ben Crenshaw, Raymond Floyd, Bernard Longa. Phil Mickelson, Jack Nicklaus, Gary Player, Tom Watson, Ian Woosnam, Charles Coody, Nick Faldo, Trevor Immelman will be in the booth, Sandy Lyle, Larry Myers, Mark O'Meara, Craig Statler, Tiger Woods. Now on that list, Tiger Woods, Phil Mickelson not playing. There are so many Masters champions out there, but their whole lives they have been revered as Masters champions. Some more than once, some it's part of a incredible resume like Jack or Tiger or Watson or Phil or whoever or Faldo. Some it's the major they won, like Freddie, who should have won more majors. We know that. We know how gifted he was, and who tomorrow could become, and don't count him out, could become the oldest player to ever make the cut. Because every year, his back might hurt by Saturday, and he might finish 10 over. But the point is, every year, the first couple of days, he plays really well at Augusta. And he's out there tomorrow and could become the oldest player. I think Sam Snead is the oldest to make the cut, I believe. But Freddie has a chance to do that tomorrow. But it's that tournament. Listen, the U.S. Open's a great distinction. Winning the British Open's a great distinction. But the Masters is unique. It's just something that has been marketed a certain way. And when something in America becomes that kind of sporting tradition, it has a legacy. It has a premium that doesn't go away. And the Masters is that way. And there isn't a golf fan anywhere who won't be up first thing tomorrow morning and turning on and watching those first shots that'll be hit at 7:30 out of Augusta. Because it's the Masters. And the Masters has marketed itself so uniquely. There's so much the throwback. They don't give in to convention. They don't give in to the times. They don't have to. They're different. They've always presented themselves as being different, marketed themselves as being different, and they have the resources that allow them to be different and to be special. And it's all part of the same allure. It's the sporting event everybody wants to go to, at least once in their life. It's the sporting event when you're there, you feel like you're on special ground. You just do. You just do. It's just different. And the prices, are throwbacks. You get a sandwich for, last time I was there, it was like $1.50 or something for, to eat. It's $2.50, $1.50. The numbers were insane. Um, and everything is different. And the players treat it that way. They treat it with the same kind of reverence that they don't treat anything else. And that's why it seems in terms of the competition, that comes through. How much it means to these guys. How competitive it is. Plus, it's a very, very limited field. And a lot of times it's won by the best players on this course where they, can't win it enough. So we get another day of it tomorrow. And as I said, I'm not counting Scotty out. My best play is McIntyre 28-1. I gave you a couple of guys that were long shots to finish in the top 5 so that they didn't just all be winners, but, they're decent prices at that price, getting 12, 14-1 at that. And away we go. And we'll take you through the weekend with it. The NBA is right around the corner. Listen, I don't even like the play-in tournaments. So you wait for because let's be honest, those teams, they're not going anywhere. We know that. We know what you're waiting for. You wanna get rid of the first round as quickly as you possibly can and get down to business. And in the second round in the NBA, you get down to business. That's the way it is. You really get down to business. Doesn't mean there isn't a good series in the middle of the first round. There it can be, obviously. But when you're talking about the top teams, you wanna get down to business. And both the East and the West is gonna be extremely interesting. Extremely interesting. Because the question is just how good San Antonio is in a place where Oklahoma City last night won their 63rd game, and trouncing a bad Laker team that was obviously without anybody. Beat 'em by They beat them by 50 last week, and they beat them by 40 something last night. Um, and they're gonna go on to win well, they have 3 games left, so they could win 66. I don't know if they're gonna play everybody through the last 3, but they've already won 63. I know that because I bet them over, and their number was 62.5, so last night was the night they went over. I lost 1 of my over-unders. I bet 4, I picked 4, the other 2 won, and, Detroit over, Miami over, Cleveland over, which I lost, and Oklahoma City over, which won last night. Um Disappointed in Cleveland in the regular season, but I knew early on that that wasn't gonna go, obviously. That was very easy to tell that that was not gonna happen. That was not the smart it was 55.5. The Oklahoma City was 62, and I actually thought that Oklahoma City had a good chance to win 70. They now are at 63 and counting with 3 games to play. 63 and 16. And are firing things up for another run at a championship. Um Good win for the Yankees last night. You gotta give and I know why he did it, but you gotta give Aaron credit. The rote move there is to pinch hit for Rosario, and he doesn't. And I know why he doesn't, because he doesn't get a lot of at bats. They haven't faced a lot of lefties. Plus, McMahon has been and if McMahon doesn't watch it now, we know that Rosario's a guy who just kills left-handed pitching, which is why he's there. And we know that McMahon's glove is unreal. We know how good his glove is. But and you know that I talked to you for a long time that I wanted McMahon here when I wanted to trade for McMahon for a while. And his glove has been terrific, and he really solidified the infield last year, but I have been so disappointed in his offensive approach. I really have. I mean, I never thought he would be this bad as he's been. Uh, he just seems so overmatched by heat all the time. I mean, it's just really to the point where you can understand giving Rosario more time at third base. I mean, you really can because, I mean, look what he did last night. And he's hitting 87 in 23 at bats. 087. He has struck out 11 times. I did not expect him to I really have to admit that I did not expect him to be like this. I really didn't. And if I'm Rosario, who's had 10 at bats this year and got a bunch of them and got 4 of them last night, um, I wanna play. I understand that I'm not the glove, and McMahon's gonna be there, and he's gonna go in for defensive purposes. We understand that, okay? We know that's gonna be the case, but it's kinda hard to play him the way he's hitting. I mean, it's it's really awful, and he just looks like he can't catch up to any decent fastball, and I have to admit, I I'm I wanted him to play, and I know what kind of glove he is, okay? We all do. He's a great glove. He really is. He solidified that infield, and he is a tremendous fielder. But boy, has his offense been brutal. And he got a base hit and he got a couple RBIs the first game of the season, right? He got a CNI single up the middle. He didn't hit the ball hard ever. I don't know what's going on with him. It's like he's just lost his ability to hit. It better come back or he's gonna wind up just being a late inning defensive replacement. Heck, I can't argue with playing Rosario. He's gonna give you better at bats than McMahon is right now. And last night he leaves him in the game, and what does he do? He hits a game-winning home run, his second of the game. Get that kind of punch, then you go to McMahon for defensive purposes. You better watch it. That was a big, and it just shows you these teams. You know, the one thing you see time and time again is these teams, the lesser teams, they cannot sustain leads out of the bullpen. That more than anything. Yes, the good team has the not one good player or two good players. They have 3 or 4 really prominent players in the lineup, while the other team might have 1 or 2 good young really good young players. Like, Oakland's got some really good offensive players, but they don't have the ability to go into that pen and hold a lead for 3 or 4 innings against a good team. That's the difference, and you see that night in and night out, and the Yankees, they digest bad bullpens. The question is, can they do it to good teams? Right now, they're feasting on all these weaker teams, and they're running up a big record and a fast start. Just keep winning. But can they do it when it counts against good teams? That's the difference. We'll see you later.